Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. We are from group 2 of XII-7. Today we are going to present about our task of second UKBM about noun modifier. Praise to God Almighty for the blessing of His grace and that we was given the opportunity to be able to complete this English project on time. And we would like to say thank you to our family, our friends, and our teacher, Mrs. IOX, that always give me support, give me so much knowledge about English and many others. The purpose of this English project is to fulfill the English assignment. This project is about noun modifier. This project consists of 3 chapters, specifically noun phrase, adjective noun phrase, and relative pronoun. We realize that this project is not perfect, but we hope this project can be useful for everyone. We accept any form of suggestion to make this project better. Last but not least, we hope all the students of SMA Negeri 5 Surabaya can use English better and improve their skill and talents in many ways. Table of content. Point 1 introduction. Point 2 result of work. Point 3 analysis. Point 4 conclusion. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Zakir Fauzan from group 2. I'm here as a leader and my motto is job not finished.
My name is Dakar Ridwan Ramadan, number 12, as a vice leader, and my motto is the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Asdia Kusuma Cahyani. I'm from group 2, number 9. I'm here as a moderator, and my motto is the moment you feel like giving up, remember all the reasons you held on for so long.
My name is Alia Putri Ristia, number 4 as a secretary.
My name is Aldi Wildana Hakim, absent 2 as reporter 1.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is XII-7 Putri Arya Dwianto, number 25 as reporter number 2.
Timeline of work. Activity 2.1. Tuesday, 1st September 2020. Activity 2.2. Thursday, 10 September 2020. Activity 2.3. Tuesday, 15 September 2020. Submit the English project at Tuesday, 22 September 2020.
And the next is concept map. Chapter 1 is the definition of noun modifiers. And chapter 2 is the types of noun modifiers, such as noun phrase, adjective phrase, and relative pronoun. Chapter 3 is the example of noun modifiers. And the last chapter, chapter 4, is the combination of noun modifiers.
Result of our work. Chapter 1, Noun Phrases. What is noun phrase? A noun phrase is a group of 2 or more words that is headed by a noun, like a person, place, or thing. That includes modifiers like the, of them, or with her. A noun phrase plays the role of a noun. In a noun phrase, the modifiers can come before or after the noun. Example, a cute puppy. Number 2, her face red with embarrassment. Number 3, the Bohemian house.
Type of noun phrase. A. Pre-modification. This part of noun phrase are called pre-modifiers because they go before the noun. Pre-modification can be 1. Determiners. For example, these houses are very expensive. 2. Quantifiers. For example, I've lived in a lot of houses. 3. Numbers. For example, my brother owns 2 houses. 4. Adjectives. For example, I love old houses. B. Post-modification. Other part of a noun phrase go after the noun. These are called post-modifiers. Post-modification can be 1. Prepositional phrase. For example, a man with a gun. 2. In phrase. For example, the man standing over there. 3. Relative clause. For example, the man We met yesterday. 4. To infinitive. For example, I've got no decent shoes to wear.
Post-modification can be number 1, that clause. These are very common after nouns like idea, facts, belief, and suggestions. Example number 1, he's still very fit in spite the facts that he over 80. Number 2, she got the idea that people didn't like her. Number 3, there was a suggestion that the children should be sent home. Number 2, there may be more than one post-modifier. Example number 1, an 8-year boy with a gun who tried to rob a sweet shop. Number 2, that girl over there in a green dress drinking a Coke. Combination of noun dividers. Number 1, adjective describing the main characteristic of a person or a thing are often grouped together before the noun they describe. For example, a beautiful young woman, a large round table. Number 2, 2 or 3 described adjectives are often used together in this way. Though, note that placing more than 3 adjectives before a noun would start to sound unnatural. For example, a beautiful wooden table.
Adjective noun phrase. A phrase that acts like an adjective in a sentence is called adjective phrase. Like an adjective, it modifies or adds to meaning of a noun or a pronoun. It consists of adjective, modifiers, and other words modifying the noun or pronoun.
The next is the types of adjective noun phrase. There are 6 types of adjective noun phrases. 1, who, 2, with, 3, when, 4, where, 5, why, and 6, the others.
Type of adjective noun phrase. Who. Some adjective noun phrases tell us who did something or who received something. Like the examples, Mitch was scared by the dog. By the dog here means who did it. Number 2, Mom gave the present to my sister. To my sister here means who received it.
With. Other adjective noun phrases tell us what is used to complete an action. For example, Megan washed her car with a hose. Within this sentence has the meaning of what was used. Second, Samantha booked the ticket with her phone. Within this sentence has the meaning of what was used.
Type number 3, when. One way of expressing an event happens in with adjective noun phrases. Example, my match will start after the lunch break, when in relation to an event. Number 2, the play will begin at exactly 6 o'clock, when exactly. We can discuss it in the morning, when generally. However, not every expression of time is prepositional phrase. Sometimes adverbs are used to tell when something happens. For example, we'll be studying compound adjective tomorrow, and adverbs. Number 2, Dad bought the milk yesterday morning. Adverbial phrases.
Where. When we specify exactly where something is, we almost always use adjective noun phrase. The example is the sugar is in the top left cupboard. The second example is you will get your receipt at the register. Additionally, action verb often use prepositional phrase to indicate precise direction. The example is 1. Mary decided to go to the market. 2. The light turned on when you walked into the room. And the last one is to win the race, runners have to jump over every hurdle.
Number 4 is why. Reason for activity can also be expressed with adjective noun phrase. Example, I went to the supermarket for milk and cereal. And 2. Stephen studied all night for the big test.
The next is the other types. Among the many other relationships which adjective noun phrase can express, below are just a few examples. First, tomorrow we'll play the first game of the 2016 season. This is possession. And the second, Except when I fell as a baby, I've never broken a bone. This is qualification. And the third, it's very difficult to write in Shakespeare style. This is specification. And the fourth is the cup is full of tea. This is containment. And the last is my car is made out of carbon fiber. This is composition.
Chapter 3. Relative pronoun. Relative pronoun. A relative pronoun is a term for a word that marks a type of subordinate clause, often called a relative clause, adjective clause, or defining clause, among other names, as a means to conjoin modifying information about an antecedent referent in the main clause of a sentence.
Type of relative pronoun. Who is used to replace the subject pronouns I, she, he, and they. For example, this is the man who broke the window. He broke the window. Who replaced he. Second, where is the waiter who served us? She served us. Who replaced she.
Who is whose. Used to show position or relationship. Example, number 1, I have a friend whose mother drives a taxi. Number 2, she knows the family whose house we bought.
Whom used to replace the object pronouns me, her, him, us, and them. However, the use of whom is becoming less common, especially in the United States, and who is usually used instead of whom. Example, the lady whom they caught was sent to prison. In this example, whom replaced her. The second example is they have found the man whom they want to interview. In this example, whom replaced him.
Relative pronoun with restrictive and non-restrictive clause. Restrictive clause used when the information in the clause is important to the meaning of the overall sentence. The woman who is standing at the door is his sister. The clause who is standing at the door is important because it identifies the woman. Non-restrictive clause used to indicate that the information in the clause is extra information. Jane, who is standing at the door, is his sister. The clause who is standing at the door is extra information in order to indicate that it is non-restrictive. We use comma before and after the clause.
The next is which. Clauses that begin with which are almost always non-restrictive. Example, my precious blue lamp, which was in the room, was broken. The clause which was in the room gives extra information.
Last but not least, a type of relative pronoun is that. Clauses that begin with that are almost always restrictive clauses, like the example, the lamp that was in the room was broken. The clause that was in the room identifies the lamp.
Conclusion. Noun phrase is a group of two or more words that is headed by a noun, a person, place, or thing, that includes modifiers. Example, the, a, of them, with her. Noun phrase plays the role of a noun. In a noun phrase, the modifiers can come before or after the noun. For example, I found the owner of the dog. The owner of the dog is noun phrase.
The type of noun dividers. Number 1. Noun phrases. A noun phrase or a nominal is a phrase that has a noun as its head or performs the same grammatical function as a noun. Noun phrases are very common cross-linguistically, and they may be the most frequently occurring phrase type. Number 2. Adjective noun phrases. An adjective phrase is a phrase the head of which an adjective, example, fond of steak, very happy, quite upset about it, etc. The adjective can initiate the phrase, conclude the phrase, or appear in a medial position. Number 3. Relative pronoun. A relative pronoun is a term of a word that marks a type's subordinate clause, often called a relative clause, adjective clause, or defining clause, among other names, as a mean to conjoin modifying information about the antecedent reference in the main clause of the sentence.
Benefit of this project. The benefits of this project. The advantage of this project is we can learn how to make this paper task and PowerPoint correctly. Also, we can develop our creativity and English skills, especially in writing, speaking, and reading, while making this project.
Our hope. With our project, this PowerPoint and the portfolio, we hope that this activity can enable learning activity to be more cool and not stressful for students. They can enjoy more in teaching and learning activities. We hope they can stay motivated from the beginning until the end of the learning activity.
Last but not least, special thanks. We would like to say thank you to our teacher, Ma'am Ayux, for teaching us in English. Now, we can understand more about English and we can show our confidence to others. It is all because your guidance, and thank you for your guide that makes us ambitious to work on this project, and finally this project is finished. We are so grateful to be your students. That's all from us, Group 2. We are sorry if there are any mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.